last night, I drove my wife's car. I don't drive it very often, but my daughter and her friend were going somewhere, and I had to take them across town, 20 minutes. My daughter's friend goes to church. They had a little church thing on last night. And so I was driving them to first Chick-fil-A and then across town. And so,
Amen.
Right. So my wife said, take my car. They'll be more comfortable.
They don't want to be in Daddy's stinky car.
Apparently they had discussed this, and it was like, this is a friend. We're not going to put her in that car. And I said, well, I can just take mine. And she, no, you need to take my car. You need to take my vehicle tonight. Let's be a grown-up about this and take it. I said,
Plus, I've had too many wines.
Yes, she was right. She wasn't taking. I was going to do the taking, and that's just fine. We had made that agreement. So I said, all right, I'll take your car. Well, this is the first time. I mean, I've driven it a few times, but this is the first time. As we were, I was getting ready to go into the Chick-fil-A parking lot. Somebody abruptly changed lanes in front of me, and I mean, it was a bit of an aggressive move. It wasn't. I wouldn't have called it like cutting me off, but it was enough that.
Not reckless, but sudden.
Correct. That's a good way to put it. Not reckless, but sudden. So I was just going to lift my foot off the gas pedal and not hit the brakes, but the car itself started braking. And I said, what? Demon car. What? I couldn't believe it. I said, what is going on here? I said to my children, the car's been taken over. I'm no longer in control of this vehicle.
We need to get to church right now.
Yeah. But within a second, I was back in control. And I thought, I bet it does that thing. I bet it does that thing that I've heard about where it'll stop for you.
My car does that too. And when I see it the most is, when you're going on a street, let's say the speed limit is 35 and you're doing 38, 39, 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like a city street.
Yeah.
And someone is ahead of you, well ahead of you, but they're slowing down to turn into a driveway or a business.
Right.
And so you're coming up on them. You're going to clear.
Yeah.
In your mind, that car is going to be gone. So I don't need to decelerate.
Yes.
But occasionally, like once a year, my car will say, hey.
Yeah. And
brake.
And break you down.
And brake.
Mm-hmm. That's almost this exact situation.
Yeah.
So this guy cut in front of me to get into the turn lane. He was going to be gone. And I could have easily. So I wasn't going to brake. And it broke. It hit the brakes for me. I said, I don't care for that. I'm in control. I'm in control of this.
Yeah. I like that. That about you.
And then we got out on the loop, and I guess I veered a little bit. I wasn't off the road, but I felt the wheel starting to.
She has the lane assist.
Yeah, I like the lane assist.
I was like, what's going on here? I couldn't believe. I was like,
the wheel's shaking.
What is happening here?
Are we in an earthquake?
I prefer to get over on the rumble strips.
Well, exactly. I like a little rumble strip from time to time, And I didn't even hit those. And suddenly it was.
You're drifting.
Vot's going on with this? To me, it's a little too much. It's a little too much AI control.
I see this is where you and I differ vociferously because...
You think it's safer?
Because yes, you were drifting.
Well, if you want to put... That's a nasty word.
A machine will keep your car where it's supposed to be. And I say, bring on the future.
Yeah, I have to... Because my mind was wandering. I'd already dropped off the children at this point. I was on my way home. And my mind was on to whatever else.
Pickles, Celine Dion, whatever's on the radio.
That's right. Whatever it was, I was thinking probably something that I felt like Biggie had wronged me. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'll tell you what I was thinking about. I was thinking about an argument I had when I was dressed down by our boss 7 years ago. You call it the London affair. That was in my head. And I
really?
Thought, yeah. This happened.
Just replaying old...
yeah. I do that.
Arguments?
It's probably 8 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago. And
what was that one about?
Well,
we're not allowed to talk about it, but let's just say.
I felt I was in the right about something and got blindsided in front of 10 people at a meeting.
Yes.
The Battle of London.
Yes.
The London affair. And just ripped apart in front of coworkers and was just left with my jaw on the table, and everybody was just lording it over like, oh.
So you drop off two teenage girls at church after feeding them chicken.
Yeah.
And now you're driving home and you're replaying old wrongs in your mind.
Yeah, that's what I did. It might have been the Chick-fil-A because
being angry at your car.
Yes, angry at my car. That car.
The smell was still heavy in the
smell.
air.
It was the smell because they ate it in the car on the way to church. That was the deal. Because I haven't had Chick-fil-A in a year. I mean, not 10 months. I haven't had it. I cut that completely out, and I could smell it. Well, after our boss dressed me down 8 years ago in front of 10 colleagues who all of them were like, dang.
It's like that meme from the movie Friday where Ice Cube and Chris Tucker go,
Yeah. It was bad. Well, you weren't in there for it, but
no, but I heard.
oh, it was the talk of the building. I mean, this is 8 years ago. And I went and drowned my sorrows in chicken and pickles that day.
Was that the double day?
Yeah.
When I went twice and the same teenager took my order twice, 2 hours apart.
So the smell brought you back to that.
I think it was the smell because that day I had 40 nuggets and 4 sandwiches. And in the back seat, one got a sandwich and one got the nuggets. I was like, oh, man, that brings back memories. And for whatever reason,
My rage meal.
the London affair was in my head, and I was mouthing and going over to myself how I should have responded when that
You
happened.
should have said.
What I should have said 8 years ago when I was basically I turned tail and ran,
Yeah.
but what I feel like I should have said something back to several people there who gave me what for. Many are no longer employed here, but I really would like to contact them and say, hey, do you remember 8 years ago at a meeting when I got dressed down? Because here's what I want to say to you.
Why are you calling me psycho? No, I don't remember that.
And at that moment, my wife's car started correcting itself. That's so I can see where you're coming from there because my mind was in a different place at that point on the roadway.